Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplifier. So already in our previous video, we started discussion on integration of simple queue service with Python, right? In our earlier video, we have seen how we can publish or send some message in SQS queue from Python using Boto3 client, right? Now today in this particular video, we are going to learn how we can receive the message from SQS queue and how we can delete a particular message from SQS queue. Okay. So without any further delay, let us directly jump into the implementation section. Okay. So first step what we are doing, we are installing Boto3 because Boto3 we are going to use to create the client for SQS in Python. Okay. Right. So here it is installing, successfully done. And then here what we are doing, here we are doing some necessary imports. Okay, JSON we are importing. Sometimes we might need to do JSON.dumps or JSON.loads frequently in AWS related programming. So that's why we are importing JSON. Boto3 is required to create the client for SQS, and datetime and some utility related to datetime also we are importing. If required, we will be using this. Okay, right. Then what we are doing here, we are basically creating the client for SQS queue. Okay, region we are giving US is 2, that means in Ohio region our queue will be there. We need to pass the AWS access key and secret key also. So for that what I will do, I will go to AWS management console, and here I will be going to security credentials. I am going to show you the demo with security credentials for root account, which is complete access, but you can basically create some user which is having access only to SQS and then work with that, and all this kind of fine tuning you can do. But as of now, our primary focus is basically demonstrating working of SQS with Python. That's why I am not going to that security part more. We can handle that later. So here I'll be copying the AWS access key. I'll paste that here. And here I'll be copying the AWS secret keys. Okay. Right. And here let's run this one. Okay, it is done. Now here what we are doing, we have basically created a function which is basically used to send the messages from Python to SQS queue. It requires 3 parameters. One is queue URL. From here we'll be getting the queue URL from, if I go to SQS queue and then let me create a queue for demo. I'll go to create queue, demo YT testing. Okay, and here I will create the queue. Here if I go, this is the queue created, standard queue we have created. If I click on that, here you will be getting the URL. Okay, right. So URL we need to pass, and the message body, what will be the actual body part in the message, and the attribute, some properties of the message like key value pair apart from the main body. Okay, that's what we need to pass. So let's run this one, and then here what we are doing, we are basically pasting the queue URL, and then here I have written the message attribute. 2 attributes we have specified. One is basically name, which is having the values of Dhruv Mukherjee, data type is string, and another one is age, which is number data type. I have given the value 5. Okay, and the main body is containing hello world 10. Okay, so before going ahead, just have a quick look. Currently, if I refresh this place, here message available also 0, message in flight also 0. Okay, because we have just now created this queue, so nothing is there. All we will do, we will just run this one. Okay, it is successfully done, and then if I refresh this particular place, currently it is showing message available 1, because just now we have published or we have sent one message in this SQS queue from Python, right? So I will go to this one, I will click on send and receive messages, and here I will be doing poll for messages. Here I will be getting the message, I can click on that. Body part you can see hello world 10, whatever we sent here, see, message body was hello world 10, and in the attribute we have sent name and age, right? If I go to SQS and attribute, here see age and name, these 2 attributes are coming with their data type and value whatever we sent. Okay, right, cool. So here I will close this one. I will go back to our queues. Currently you will see that message in flight is 1, message available 0. Why this happened? Because to view the message we have applied polling, and while polling we have tried to read the message, right? So that is nothing but one kind of consumption of the message from SQSQ. So what SQSQ will think that one consumer has already consumed the message. Now the consumer is basically trying to process that message. That's why the message is in flight. Okay. If after processing consumer delete that message, that's fine. Or else if the consumer just read the message and don't delete it, again after visibility timeout the message will again available in this particular SQS so that other consumer can consume that. SQS will think that as if the first consumer was not able to process the message. If some consumer able to process the message, they should be deleting it. Okay, but we have not deleted this, right? So if I just refresh this one after the visibility timeout, you will see that whatever message was there in flight, that came back in the message available. And then if we try to read the message from this queue, we'll be getting the message. Okay. So it is always suggested that if a consumer successfully read the message from SQSQ and process that, then better delete that particular message from the queue itself. Otherwise, again that same message will become available in the queue after visibility timeout, and another consumer will try to reprocess the same message, and that is not that much efficient, right? So with respect to architecture point of view, if you are building some consumer for your SQSQ, make sure after successful processing you add the delete message from queue, that particular functionality also in the code. Okay, right. So anyway, we will come to that, how to delete the message from queue, but let's just focus on this as of now. What we have seen, we have tried to send some message in the SQSQ whatever we created. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to read the message using Python programming. Okay, how we can do that? We can use the same Boto3 client SQS_send, and this time we can use the method receive message. Okay, earlier we were using while sending the message we used send message method. This time we can use receive message method. Okay, and what are the parameters? It takes 4 parameters. One is queue URL, obviously from which queue it will receive the message. Then max number of messages. Here I have specified that 10. What it says, basically it might happen that in your SQSQ there are more than 1 messages are available, right? So while reading the messages, maximum how many messages the particular Python program will pull as a reply. Okay, that you can specify here. So max number of messages 10 means at a time maximum 10 messages this particular code will be pulling and returning back. Okay, then what is the meaning of wait time seconds? It is same like concept of long polling. Okay, that is this particular consumer will try to poll our SQSQ. If some message is there, it will return that. But if some message is not there, if the queue is completely empty, then and there this particular consumer will not come back with null value. What it will do, if the queue is empty, it will wait for 20 seconds. It will just observe whether some new messages are arriving in that SQSQ or not. If some new messages are arriving within this 20 second span, it will be taking that and it will be returned. If within the 20 second no new message arrives, the queue remains empty only, then once the 20 second passes, the particular polling will be complete, it will be coming back with null value. Okay, that's what the concept of long polling we have covered, right? So same thing we can write it here and in the programming way, wait time in second. And another one is message attribute names. Okay, so in our message we have seen that we can put multiple attributes apart from the original message body. Now the question is, what are the attributes you want to put? That you can mention here in this list. Okay, as of now I want to pull all the attributes, so I am passing all. Okay, right, it looks good. So if I go back to SQSQ, here you can see that currently message available is 1, message in flight is. What I will do, I will just run this particular code. Okay, and basically it consumed the message. Now if I go back to our SQSQ and if I refresh this particular page again, you can see message in flight is 1, message available is 0, because we tried to consume the message. So that's why it goes to message in flight. And if after the visibility timeout also the message is not getting deleted, again the same message will be available in the SQS queue so that other consumers can consume the same message and retry the processing. Okay. So how the response comes, let us just run messages and see. So as you can see here, it is coming like a Python dictionary, right? And in this dictionary, the parent key is messages, okay? And how it is nothing but one array. See here square bracket starts, right? Inside this array, individual elements are nothing but the information about the particular message, okay? So as you can see, body is the message body, which is hello world 10, whatever we have published here, okay? And then here md5 of the body, md5 hash value it is showing, and then here message attributes, okay? Whatever attributes we passed in the message while sending it, those we are getting back here, right? And some more information also we are getting, okay? Another important key which I want to highlight is receipt handle, okay? Here you can see it is kind of a string head value. So SQS will automatically generate this one, kind of an unique identifier whenever some message is getting published in SQS queue, okay? And whenever you try to receive that, here it will return you the receipt handle, okay? So what is its importance? It is like acting like unique identifier, and once you consume and process the particular message in SQS queue, if you want to delete that, then which message you want to delete, that you can uniquely detect by receipt handle, okay? Suppose I have read this particular message and I have consumed that, I have processed that, now I want to delete this one, then I have to pass this receipt handle, okay? Because this is acting like unique identifier, it will detect that particular message and delete it from the queue, okay? Right? So all other properties also you can explore, but as of now our main focus will be body part, the attribute parts, what are the key parameters mentioned, and the receipt handle, because that is something required for deletion purpose, okay? And how we can get the receipt handle from this kind of response? Very simple, right? That is messages is actually what is containing our response. Out of that, this is message, this messages key is our parent key, so I can use dictionary key concept, so messages of messages, and then this is basically our first array element, so I can put 0, and then here I am putting another key which is our receipt handle, which is this particular key name to extract the corresponding value part, okay? And if I just run receipt handle, here we will be getting the particular receipt handle, okay? And now as you can see, earlier message was in flight. Now if I refresh this one, already visibility timeout is over, and now the particular message is available again in SQS queue for consumption purpose by other consumers, okay? Now suppose I want to delete this message, what I will do, I will run this particular simple code, SQS send our same Boto3 client dot delete message, okay? Here we are passing the key URL and the receipt handle, okay? Receipt handle is basically nothing but this particular value, okay? Unique identifier for our message whatever we published, okay? And let's run this one, okay? And see it is successful because status code we have got as 200, okay? Now if I go back to our SQS queue, if I refresh this, currently no messages are available. Perfect, right? So now our queue is perfectly empty, okay? Now what happens if we now try to receive the messages from the queue when our queue is empty? Okay, that is an interesting part, right? Basically what we want to calculate, that how to know that whether our queue is empty or not. That is also another important aspect, right? So to understand whether a queue is empty or not, always you can make a receive message request, okay? So currently our queue is empty. Let's make a receive message request. I will run this one. So now what is happening? See, it is taking some time to complete this run. Okay, why? Because here we have mentioned wait time in seconds as 20 seconds. Currently no message is there. So our this particular consumer is trying to poll continuously for 20 seconds. It is waiting for 20 seconds whether new messages is arriving or not. If within 20 seconds also new messages is not arriving, then only it is coming out, okay? See, it is done. And now if we run messages, here you will see we are getting this response. And point to be noted, this response and here this particular response you just try to compare. when messages was there in our queue, then the parent key we were getting as messages. This key is very important, right? But when any messages is not there in our queue, then we are not getting that key. Okay, that's what the identifier whether queue is empty or not. If in the receive message response we are not getting the messages key, okay, this key if it is not available, that means our queue is empty. If we are getting that messages key, that means our queue is not empty. Okay, that's the simple idea, right? So here, that's what I have written here. Messages key is not there when the queue is empty. That is very important part. And now we can combine these concepts to write a beautiful function. Okay, what is the function? The function is process SQS messages. Okay, it is used to process SQS message. What we are doing basically, we might not know how many messages are there in our SQS queue. Okay, might be 100, might be 200, might be 500. So because we don't have that exact idea, we are running a infinite while loop. Okay, while true. Okay, and then here what we are doing, we are basically applying receive message method to extract the messages from our queue with maximum number of messages as 10. Okay, we are pulling the messages from SQS queue. Okay, and then we are checking whether in the response this messages key is there or not. If this key is there, that means our queue is not empty actually. We should be getting back some messages to process. Else, if messages key is not there, we are printing the queue is currently empty or messages are invisible. So we are taking this infinite while loop. Okay. And if messages key is there in the response, what we are doing? We are iterating in the messages of messages. What is this? If you check this particular reply when messages was there, here we got an array, right? Where individual array element contain message information. So we are iterating in that array using this particular for loop for m in messages of messages. And then here what we are doing, we can basically process the message. Okay, currently I am not doing any fancy processing. I am just printing the body part, receipt handle, and the attributes of the particular extracted message. Okay, and suppose this is our processing, and once the processing is done, we are basically deleting the message with queue URL and the receipt handle, because I have told you, right, that receipt handle something what we need to pass to delete a particular message, because that is kind of unique identifier for a message what we want to delete. Okay, right? So that is pretty much simple code. I can run this one, and now it's time to test. Okay, so if I go back to SQS queue, currently neither messages are available nor messages are in flight. So what we are doing here we are trying to put some messages. Okay, 3 messages we are putting, with first message having the body hello world 1, the second message having the body hello world 2, the third message having the body hello world 3, and with them different attributes also we have added, and each time I am calling the send queue function to put the messages in SQS queue from Python. Okay, just let's run this one. Okay, it is successful. If I go back to SQS queue, here you will see that 3 messages are available, which is perfect, right? Now suppose I want to extract the messages, process it, and delete those. What I want, I can simply basically achieve all those using this particular function call, because all this we have written in this process SQS message, right? So let's just run this one. Okay, see here, hello world 1, hello world 3, hello world 2. All the 3 messages it has pulled with the particular receipt handle, and also if you go little bit right hand side, here you will be getting basically the corresponding attributes which are attached with the particular message. Okay, then also it is running. Why? Because it is just waiting to make sure no more new messages are coming in this queue, right? Based on wait time, basically long polling it was doing, and then here finally it is printing queue is currently empty or messages are invisible, right? So if I go to SQS queue and refresh this one, now we will see all the messages are consumed as well as deleted from the SQS queue. Okay, that's the beauty of this particular user defined function. I hope you understood this. Now let's try to put all this concept, how to send message in SQS queue, how to read those, how to delete those, all this let us try to put in one particular framework, and let's build a interesting data pipeline which you can use in your AWS architecture use case if you are using SQS or data letter queue, right? So that particular beautiful architecture I am going to cover in our upcoming session. Till then, I will just request you to practice this particular receive message lab, whatever code I will be providing in the description. Just try it once, play with it, so that in our next video when we will be understanding the bigger picture of the architecture with SQS and DLQ, then it will be very comfortable with us. Okay. So this is all for this video. If you find this video helpful, then please like, share and comment, subscribe our channel if you have not subscribed till now, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification of our latest videos. Thank you.